Howdy rock lovers, it's time for another West Texas rock hounding adventure. This time I'm with the beautiful Miss Kendra.
Hello.
She refuses to be on the video, but she's doing the driving. We're heading out to West Texas. This time we're bringing... that's Jaeger. And Justin, you can't quite see him. Trust me, Justin's back there. Our elk hounds. We're gonna be staying in an RV park. And this time getting on some private property. That's right. Last time I was here a few months ago, I was on mostly public areas, which, as you know, out in West Texas are sparse. I got along the Rio Grande River and some county roads. I did find some amazing stones. This time, however, we are actually getting on some private property. We'll have to pay for the privilege, but hopefully we'll find the good stuff. What I'll do is I'll film any little interesting rock I find along the way. Hopefully we'll get some good stuff. We made it to Alpine, got the RV set up, took the dogs for a nice walk, and are getting ready for a full 3 days of rock hounding. All right, it's our first day out here. We are on a ranch. It's beautiful. Could not ask for better weather. And this particular spot is known for crystals and chalcedony. It's so easy to find this stuff. It's just everywhere. You see there's a little chunk right there. So it's very common out here. I'm gonna have a boatload of this to play with when we get back to the shop. Here's a little nodule, check this out. Like I said, these things are everywhere. It's gonna be fun to get these cut and tumbled and wow, what a great spot. Look at this little banded beauty right about here. What's that gonna look like? Let's see. Ooh, it's a bigger one. Oh, there. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. What is up with that color? Wow. Gotta get this cleaned up. Here's another nice chunk of this beautiful chalcedony that we're finding here. And this is just outside of Alpine, Texas on a ranch. It's amazing. This area is just littered with this stuff. Wow. This one appears to have some banding in it right here. Look at this. It's small. Well, let's see how small is it. All right, hang on. Let me get the tool. Oh, look at that. It's bigger than I thought. Maybe mostly crystal, but I know I can see some banding in there. That'll be a fun one to clean up and probably tumble. This one looks interesting. Check this out. Yeah. I imagine that will tumble up nicely. Look at all those bands in there. Oh, beautiful piece of this chalcedony. And we're not just finding cool rocks around here. We find these Texas-sized anthills. Look at this monster. Whoa. And these ants. They could carry you away. Look at the size of these things. I'm going to put my hand down here for scale, but not too close. Oh, I stirred them up. Let me get the heck out of here. All right, I think because it's so close to this anthill, look at this one just sitting here. It's a beauty. Wowzers, look at this. This will be fun to take back and probably cut this one. What a great looking agate. Thanks, ants, for guarding it for me. And we moved to another area on the same ranch, and we've already started finding some amazing things. Down here, there's a lot more jasper, and I'll show you that, but first, you've got to see this. This is so cool. Let's take a closer look at this amazing rock formation. So what this is where these agates form. Here you can see a nice crystal one there that's still within its pocket. And lots more here. Look at that big one right there. You can see it just goes over there. I may try to crack that one out at some point. That's the birth of agates right there. Really cool. And the other thing you can find in this area is amazing jasper. Now look at this. This is a very large piece right here. And we're told not to mess with it because we're at a some sort of Indian site here. And they don't want us messing with this rock, but just look at the color in that jasper. Isn't that beautiful? That's not staining, that's actual color in the stone. There are several pieces, smaller pieces around this area that I will be picking up. They will make great tumblers. Check out the yellow mossy Jasper that I'm finding around here. It's like an agate. It's a mossy agate, but there's a bunch of this. And trust me when I tell you, this will tumble beautifully and take a great shine. So keep an eye out for that video. Check out this cool nodule I just found. And I use the word nodule because clearly you can see how this one was within one of those basalt bubbles and formed. This will be fun to cut open, see if there's anything inside. And notice that right down here, there's another interesting looking something. What is this here? Ooh, it's bigger than I thought. Yeah, another one. It's dirty, but yeah, you get the idea. Here's another nice little one here. Look at that right there. Let's get that out. Okay, it has a little size to it. You can see there's some banding in there. That's a cool little piece of chalcedony. All right, check this out. I found my first, what I consider to be a great agate. This reminds me of the ones that I was finding down along the Rio Grande a couple of months ago, along the Rio Grande River. You can see on one side it's mossy through there. And if you look closely, you can see where it's going to have, yeah, you can see there's going to be banding in there. Ooh, this one's gonna be fun to get back to the shop and slice. Oh, I can't wait. I just found this beauty here, and you can see when I turn it over, where is it? Right there. You can see there's gonna be some good stuff in this one. So I'll get this one back to the shop and I'll split it open on the saw. Hopefully we'll have something really cool on the inside. We shall see. Woo, I just dug this big sucker out of this hole right here. It took some effort. Now, can I get this nodule out of here? I don't know, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna whack on it for a while with my hammer. That's a pretty good size agate nodule. This has potential. Will it be a good one? You can see like a little bit of agatiness there. Let's get this thing out and see. Oh, it wasn't very deep. Well, now that I look at it, I'm not too impressed, but let's get it wet. Maybe we'll get lucky. Let's see. Oh, actually, this is that, if I'm not mistaken, it is that plume agate. We've been finding a lot of that around here, which I do like. And it has the beautiful chalcedony right there. So I think this is a keeper. What do you think? It's the next day, and we're heading to a new site. Okay, it's day 2. We're out here now. Well, we're at Needle Peak, but we're in a little valley, kind of walking around the area, and we're finding all kinds of cool stuff just in this rock here. Let me show you. So, for example, and look at this beautiful piece here. It's just laying here. It's amazing. So we're going to be here for a while, and I'll show you some of the nicer rocks that we find. Just some of the things you find out here in the desert. Check out this millipede. Oh, he's just going to town. Kendra just walked over and showed me this beautiful piece of, well, it's agatized petrified wood, which, according to our guide, there's a lot of this around here. It's beautiful, but what I just found is really nice. Look at this thing right here. Check it out. Look at the color on that. Whoa! Oh my goodness. This looks like it will be a beautiful agate to cut or tumble or whatever. That one just made my day. I'm not sure exactly why they call this area Needle Peak. There is a smaller mountain behind us, but I just wanted you to see where we are. This is a beautiful part of Texas, the Big Bend country. Yep, and we're gonna be searching through those large rocks that have eroded down the hill there, hoping to find some big agates. Down here at the base of this mountain, we are finding some amazing, look at this moss agate right here. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that should make just a beautiful cabochon right there. I just picked this one up, and it's a nice little seam agate, as you can see. I think there's some pluminess in there as well. So it's a nice big piece. And I see some more right down there I'm gonna go for here in a second. It's a little precarious up here. You can't tell from this, but I'm at quite an angle. There are vehicles way back there. And I'm just on the side of this little mountain here. So here's an interesting agate I just found. It's different looking from all the other ones I've seen around here. Not quite as translucent. Still, I think it's a good find. What do you think? Keeper? And check out this beautiful moss agate that Kendra just found. I am so jealous because I have not found one this cool. I did find some like this down along the Rio Grande River a few weeks ago. And they do slab and cab beautifully. Look at this stuff. It's just stunning. Kendra and I are back at the truck, having a little sandwich. She made this wonderful peanut butter and jelly sandwich for me. It's almost 1:30 in the afternoon. It's not really hot. Well, for some of us, it's really hot. We're going to spend another hour or two out here and head back to the RV park, check on the dogs, and we're not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll see. Check out this really cool fossil. Any of you fossil experts out there know what this thing is? You can see that it was some sort of, it almost looks like an old, maybe a millipede from millions of years ago. But that's clearly a fossil. There's no way that the rock could have formed that on its own. And look at this little piece of mossy agate I just grabbed here. Whoa! This stuff's beautiful. This Needle Peak is a really interesting area. Check out this giant piece of mossy golden agate that Kendra just found. And on this side, it's hard to hold, it's very heavy. Oh, look at that, it's got red in there. Wow, this is gonna be the best piece right here. This is superb. We'll get this on the 18-inch saw and get some slabs off it. I'm telling you, this will make some outstanding cabochons. It's big and heavy too. Great job, Miss Kendra. Let's put it in her bucket here.
I think this was something like...
All right, Kendra and I are finished with day 2. We are leaving Needle Peak. It's a bit of a rocky road, so you'd probably want a high clearance vehicle for this. The group leader, our guide, her name is Teri Smith, T-E-R-I, Smith. I asked her if it was okay to put her information in this video. She said sure. She's a very nice lady. She can take you on these trips. Yesterday we were at Richie Ranch. If you go to our website, terismithrockhunts.com, or you can probably just Google Teri Smith, T-E-R-I Smith, rock hunting. You can see the different ranches that she can take you to in the schedule. We found a lot of nice stuff today, very different from what we found yesterday. It's much hotter down here, right, Kendra?
Yes.
It's warm.
Go in January.
Yeah, go in January, if they have hunts in January. But we had a great time. We found some really cool agates. Now the fun part begins where we get them home, get them cleaned up, and decide what to do with them. You know, for our last full day, Kendra and I decided to get out onto some of these roads outside of Alpine and go along these road cuts. Now, we found this one. There's the truck. There's Kendra's boots. But this one here, let me show you what I found in this rock right here. Let's get a close-up of this. So watch as I zero into this stuff. This looks stunning. Check this out right here. Whoa, look at that in there. Ha! Now, I'm trying to break it out with a little chisel and hammer, and I will show you what I end up with. But as you can see, there's lots of this black agate in this stone that just happened to fall down the side of this cliff. So let's see what we can get out of it. Well, check it out. This is what I ended up with, and it looks pretty good. It's not super deep, but boy, I love that banding in there, that black agate. I'll definitely get this home and do something with it. I just risked life and limb getting way up there into that little corner to take home. Check out this black agate. Let's get a close-up of this. Here it is in the sun. You can see it where it had broken off naturally. When I get in the shade, you can really see the dendritic stuff in there. Look at that. That is going to be fun, fun, fun to cut. It's a big one too. Let's see if I can get my hand around it here. Well, and we found a couple of small pieces of that. Right up there in the road cut. It's Sunday morning, we are leaving Alpine. And look, we left just in time because as you can see, the weather has turned to crap. We had 3 great days though. What I'll do is get back to the shop and I'll get a couple of the really nice rocks I found and show you them up close and cleaned up. So I'll see you back at the shop. Welcome back to Austin. Let's take a look at some of these rocks I found out in West Texas, beginning with this big agate that I found along the road cut just Oh, I guess that would be north of Alpine. Let's just spin around it here. You can see lots of interesting stuff on here. Little bubbles there. But the good stuff, as you can see, is on the inside. Now, I did show you this out in the field, but I want to point something out. I mistakenly referred to this stuff here as dendritic, as in dendrites. Turns out this is plume. And I learned now that dendrites are two-dimensional while plumes are three-dimensional. Regardless, this is going to be a really beautiful agate to cut. It's huge, as you can see. I can't even get the whole thing in the frame of this camera. So I will certainly be slabbing this at some point in the near future. Be sure and keep an eye out for that one. Now let's take a look at some of the rocks I found out on Richie Ranch on the first day that Kendra and I were rock hounding. Here's an example of the, let's just call it white chalcedony with lots of quartz. This stuff is literally everywhere out there. I showed you in the video how it is formed in those pockets of the rhyolite. As you can tell, that's one big volcanic area. And anyway, over time, of course, these erode out and they just litter the ground. Here's another example of one. This one has a lot more going on, as you can see. I like the way this one looks. I'll probably end up tumbling this one. I think it'll look really cool once this gets smoothed out because it should bring out the banding. It'll be very fine banding, but I think it'll show up, especially once this gets polished. Another rock that's very common out there on the Richie Ranch is this yellow jasper. Actually, you can find jasper in a few different colors out there, but a lot of it is this yellow mossy jasper. If you look closely, you can see the agatiness inside this. Look at that right there. Very beautiful stuff, and I promise you, this will tumble and polish just beautifully. Here's a really good example of one of the chalcedony nodules that I found out there just laying on the ground. You can see there's some crystal inside there. That's really cool. But clearly you can tell that this was inside one of those pockets within the either the basalt or the rhyolite. And this is just how it eroded out and what it looks like. I think for this one I'll probably end up putting it in the ultrasonic cleaner and just try to get it nice and clean and leave it as is because it's such an interesting looking specimen. And here's that large agate nodule that I had to break out of the big rock that I dug up from the ground. It is very nice, and as you can see, it extends over to here. A little bit of fine banding in there. What I thought I would do with this one at some point is just put a face polish across here. I think that will really bring out the quartz and the agate, and then maybe set it up in such a way where I can, well, I'll cut it in such a way where it'll stand up nicely and display that face. So keep an eye out for that video. This little nugget here turns out to be carnelian. So yes, you can even just walk around out there and find this very raw looking carnelian. It's kind of small. I don't know what I'll do with it. I like it though. And check out this big old nodule I just found on the ground out there at Richie Ranch. I showed this in the video. It has all of this beautiful quartzy material just poking through here. And I noticed over here, I could see a little bit of chalcedony just peeking out right there. That makes me think that this could have something really beautiful on the inside. So for this, my plan will be to take it into the shop, get it on the saw, split it in half, and see what's on the inside. Probably polish both sides. The last agate I'll show you from the Richie Ranch is this beautiful one here. Look at all of that mossy goodness on this side. You see all that in there? Isn't that beautiful? And if you look closely, yes, right in here, you can clearly see it's going to have banding in it. See it up in here, there. I'm really excited about cutting this one. I'll probably cut this and make a cabochon from it. So this will be probably a slab and cab video at some point. Okay, so the next day we went down to the Big Bend area, really close to the national park, to an area called East Needle Peak. There we found, among lots of other stuff, these beautiful pieces of petrified wood. Look at this stuff. You can clearly see the grain right there. And look at this one. That is just stunning. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these two things. They're so nice. I could tumble them as is. I could make cabs out of them, cut and tumble them. I don't know. Maybe just hang on to them and admire their beauty. Along with all that petrified wood, we were finding beautiful little agate nodules like this. What a stunner. Look, you can see the banding in there, the quartz. You know, the top and bottom are rather plain, but ooh, look at this in here. Now for a rock like this, I may end up doing a face polish. I'll be sure and turn it into a video for you, but I can imagine just going around here, bringing out a beautiful shine, and hopefully maybe bringing out some color and some other detail. I'll keep an eye out for that one. And here's a really cool sea maggot I found. What makes it so cool is that there are, in fact, plumes in here. You can see them right there. Let me show you. You see? Oh yeah. Right in here, you got the plumes coming up. How much more of that is in here? I don't know. This is probably big enough here that I can make some small cabochons out of it. So what I may do with this one is get a couple of slices off of it, hopefully expose some more beautiful plume, and make a cabochon. What do you think? Now check out this beautiful red mossy agate that I found right here. Look at that. Of course, I got it wet to bring out the detail, but you can imagine what this would look like polished. You see in there all that incredible detail? You know, the rest of the rock is rather plain looking. This is what it would have looked like whole, and you might not have even noticed it, but this particular piece had been broken at some point, allowing us to see the inside and that beautiful mossiness. And speaking of beautiful mossiness, look at this one. I know I pointed this one out in the field. That is just stunning in there. Almost plumy. You see that? Now, this will be nice to turn into a cabochon. I'll do probably a slab and cab video with this. It's rather small, but I'll get it on the 10-inch saw and get at least one good slab off of this and turn that into hopefully a beautiful cabochon. Oh, now check out this beauty. This agate was just laying there on the ground. Look at all of the detail in this. Wow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I may just leave it as is. It's a beautiful specimen. But you can see that it will have some banding in it. Maybe a little bit of color as well. That looks like the basalt right there. It's kind of a reddish basalt. But look through here. Very nice. I could probably do a cut and tumble video with this. That's one of the series that I have started doing. So I could cut it in half. We could look at the inside and then tumble both ends. We'll see. Okay, for the last rock, let's just look at this little one here. It's some sort of little agate. It's got lots of stuff going on in there. You can make out a little quartz here, a little agatiness in there. I'm showing you this because let's do a little taste test here and see what these are going to look like polished. I'm going to take this particular one, this very small agate, take it back into the shop and do a quick face polish on the cabbing machine. Then I'll bring it back in here and show you what it looks like. It's taken about 15 minutes, but as you can see, we now have a beautiful face polish on this West Texas agate. Check it out. What do you think? Oh, I think it's beautiful. It took a great shine, as you can see, and the colors in here. I know I'm seeing a purple, a white, a light blue, a yellow, and I believe a deep red right in there. Wow. Astonishing, right? So, if you guys are interested in doing this kind of rock hounding, please contact Teri. You can go to her website. She and Aaron work together to get you on at least 4 different private ranches out there in West Texas where you can find boatloads of this kind of stuff. I know that we personally brought back about 5 different buckets full of this kind of material, which means I'm going to have lots to play with over the next few weeks and months, hopefully making some cool videos for you to watch. I'll get some slabbing done, some cabbing done, some tumbling done, and who knows what else. Well, Kendra, Justin, Yeager, and I enjoyed having you with us. I hope you enjoyed coming along and seeing our rock hounding. Please remember to check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.